Alright, Abusia, your mobi bia kwaba, so aba POG Media, so mesho, sa fe no aba, obe like and subscribe and afin so my share jumedi no, ama fufro sonsa etumi aka. And some so my Ghana mua yen so ya Japan say brand no any political trending stories are make airlines and I say make waves our micro Ghana no POG Media ya beba bedum eye ya bedwafo ene abusuafo nende de ensem ene ekoso our political highway so aye OSP kisi Japan and I say watimi ababonti din semi ababetuja chese waba ababema former finance minister Ken Oforiata showdown wa washe no aye June 2nd say papa no when nanim wo Ghana ha obes declare wanted ana say obema Interpool for action no e deport na chesensema eye OSP de bre e de ababa to abonten no ano e den papa na ni nyina eye Ken Oforiata wono no wa mumu ye pewo ajeli yankokan okokan sama mietia adenya wasiu eye OSP and national securities say omo invade premises akofo faunioma chese ensama Ken Oforiata e de betu dwana chese sebi obi beka se na nyansa bia eni nsebnimu wa mum ohobon onso waba betene ne pam kasa ebiebie wonuma chese ensama OSP e de aba betu dwana de ensam no ano e de awotwe se omo no eye 2nd June se papa no an report ya obe declare wanted na that wanted ne de wan sha ekwanya o mede Ken Oforiata be fa so no enye kwan papa enti abusuafo me pese mbam ya kwan akwakutie nsema ekọ na sana be kono me sure se wo nsem ka bia o be share your comment section wala ki share jumedie no ma foforo so nsa entumi enka bi medamase
answer na me course no yes office of the special prosecutor say case bi wo wa like yes pa he shouldn't joke with that case because ahunchira yeti munne economy say any comma edi Ghana for enne Ken Oforiata and mismanagement at the finance ministry problem ayeti munne at the NDC government try one best to take us out no Ken Oforiata. That is why all these corruption things are as a corruption scandal are only two no so no. On timba on timbi na no se ba cry and drop because when him say oye ni nyina. And they na kesi aja bimba on timbe kan say wa reverse eye ne wanted na wa born no. I was disappointed. OSP o power no NDC and aba by mu MPP for no mu oma appointee no they are no more in power NDC government is not going to suppress you NDC government and how nobody will destroy your work just focus and do the work. Yempese ebeye stories every day say we don't want that. Mr. Kisiajabi adia Ken Oforiata dia ye Ghana no na me de bia meka NDC government no he adia Ken Oforiata ye Ghana and some other people corruption on we here there are some key people bi on we nipa fight mbo mudi Ken Oforiata kan sa Akuffo we se mu free power na ba akukura mo prosecute o mo Yebe mo lose election 2028 ye catch them on NDC here me tell bibia o sa sika wi na e course one na Addo those people going to jail is important to me than anything. I voted and campaigned for Mahama because of corruption and ekoso and Addo nti se mu ba na sa nkrofo no muntimi prosecute o mu a ebe hye me papa me ka kire mu and OSP no he must be very serious yeah press release we need an action no you na me say no. Yo. Now, where every office of the special prosecutor or say or mark and offer some days for deadline. So I mark or beside declare wanted view. Case update. Kenneth Nanaya Ufuriata, the office of the special prosecutor, acknowledges a lawsuit filed by Kenneth Nanaya Ufuriata contesting the OSP's prior declaration that he was wanted person and a fugitive from justice. Mr. Ufuriata formally requested the OSP to remove his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons with the assurance to the OSP that he will make himself available for questioning on a definite date. The OSP, in good faith on the basis of Mr. Furiata's assurance, granted his request and removed his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons pending in personal attendance at the OSP on the definite date. Mr. Oforiata is mandatorily required to appear in person before the OSP on 2nd June 2025. If Mr. Oforiata fails to attend the OSP on the scheduled date, he shall be re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons, and the OSP shall consider him a fugitive from justice, whereupon the OSP will cause the issuance of the Interpool red notice in his regard and also cause the initiation of extradition proceedings in any jurisdiction in which he may be found. Now, assembly nani one say yetiana Kisiaja bimbe declare no wanted say Kerofuyata mbra na investigate no na wadwane Africana. And I can Furiata respond ana or say ono onye so wadwane Africana or jaya hwe will be mine so. Now man date be wasn't me and I say or beba back to Ghana. Na e wo sana nan say yebeti say Kerofuyata say or the Kisiaja being air court. Or adent no de Kisiaja bin elko kota. Or say Annie Kisi Ajabin adent no declare no wanted. And Ramay sa story no. Adenti and a Kisiaja bin declare or no can Furiata wanted. One tia says Kisiaja bin a declare no wanted. So because of that no or the new court. And a Kisiaja bin responding or say, oh, one sukra wati. But there's no problem. What it sa ni friends and the court seminal. But on also catch them say, or that's why all channel. On also catch them say, or channel giddy. Or manu June 2nd, which is the deadline. June 2nd, the year deadline. Say June 2nd, drew. Nakeno Furiata Emba Ghana. Or no, Ebemaya yet ya issue Interpool. Na o mind be a or Shebia ya China Bagan, no ave face justice. And or no catcher can of say or the new court or no found. But on no so Emanatia says June 2nd third line no eba. Na say on fan 9C Ghana. Okay, near BC. The OSP remains unwavering in commitment to enforcing the law and ensuring that Mr. Furiata answers for his role as the prime suspect in 5 ongoing corruption and corruption-related investigations. Signed, Kisiaja been the special prosecutor, 17th March 2025. And Ghana for assembly new. Kisiaja been said, Wamani June 2nd deadline to come to Ghana. Now, do you think, say, we are serious in fighting corruption? Do you think that? Ka a serious nation to fight corruption now? How can we be doing this? Nipanin deny it. As a country like Ghana, now you work institutions of fighting corruption. Not OSP ne dano. Now, all they can do is to be releasing letters, no action. Now, are we ready to fight corruption? You see, NDC government, you guys must be very serious. Say OSP and to me fight this case we are. Or no, and you're no one bet me. You
okay, abusia intin sam no bi ene ekokuti na chese eye ken oforiata man no ne ho eya akadwem na Johnny Hughes asade to so na chese wone lawyers for kukudam so atwetwe nkomomo mo cheche o madwene efa eye ken oforiata case ne ho o mo so chese ende ya eye special prosecutor say on 5 cases in the chronic CCH say or they be gina so e dey prosecute eye ken oforiata no then there is likely say ken oforiata papa no obitimi akwakodam we say OSP etimi akoye investigations are wetimi e the 5 cases OSP according to OSP no eyade a ono asem na obekato eye ken oforiata so no na chese enye me allegations na mum evidences wo ho a chese ensam a akoso no abusua na ensam no ano wede NDC foot soldiers so eni abra omo so send strong one say NDC for gurus and say His Excellency Ǒrďěr when to make sure say ombe prosecute obi a ovieska ewo eye under Akuffo government no bia dia omo eyade a omo sabe send the NDC back to opposition chese ensam a esa call so no de na ensam no ano ede nti mese mepesa be defo sabe me akone akwakuti ensam a Johnny Hughes ede to aso.
You guys can make sure Attorney General collaborate with the EOCO because OSP wo hono na ye person invest you be concerning corruption na EOCO no any Attorney General and a dimwa. Yes, Ramo. Opuni case in start here no OSP bia ni Ghana. So we beg you, NDC government, no. The way things are going, no. As Kisiaja to me no. You can transfer it because Kedofoya attack ya prosecute na. Go room hanwon. Kedofoya attack ya prosecute na. I mean, I'm telling you, so 4 years we end na Kedofoya attack da so na Ghana ha. Ow. And the NDC for we will stop supporting you guys. Me catch them paying. Sa corruption and promise yes a man fight here. You know be. We NDC now team ya team ye part. Listen to me very well. Me say some 4 years we ended 2029 because we will vote on 2028. Now Mahama hand over whoever wins in 2029. And the 2029 governance way ended no matter who wins the election. My governance way ended, and I say even before the election, the election no crampo do. Na say muntimin chi ni pa ba kuntu muntimin prosecute ni pa ba kwa yeri. In my life, I will never sit here and mention NDC's name. Say make support ya na make asama. Never, I won't do that in my life. Mark today's date. And then it is and then 17th March. And then I'm going to say, and then 17th March, Monday and a pan I'm going to say, you drew November 2028. Now, 1 month, never kwa ba. That's how Akroma we are no more MPP are buying we want man prosecuting the papa. Now, I'm a moon ending. Make many NDC. I will never sit on my platform here say, me campaign ama NDC ara me kasana me kilija nda mama NDC e hona metia say asema ebinu ka say MPP ni NDC the same no me gisa asem na di and I'll come out and apologize to people omuka asem na mrebi etwema me no omunya I will go out and apologize to them. They say NDC mu pese mu prove here say NDC and MPP the same man. Fight the corruption. Fight it. 2028 and the na kutre kraman china ntuma as you guys promise us now. Me ma go promise our friend this. I will never do anything. Mumfamo party. Empesa adio. What kind of stories is this? You guys are in power. OSP to me nya mumman transfer ma Attorney General. No need you.
trying to secure Mr. Ofori-Atta to come and answer to the 5 different investigations that are currently ongoing according to the OSP.
Okay, so now he has been charged with specific crimes, and he's been wanted to be arrested, just like the point the lawyer was making.
Right.
In investigations and in crime prosecutions, what he needed to do is to activate the international protocols and look at the country he's in. If we have deportation or extradition arrangements with them, he is a public enemy now, and anybody who sees him can alert the OSP or can arrest him and bring him. So Interpol could be informed that we needed this person to answer some charges, and these are the charges we have preferred against him, and he must come to answer. So help us to bring him. He can do that. The BNI can do that. Today, Yoko has entered into some relationship with the National Crime Agency of the UK, which does investigations for the UK government outside of the UK. And so wherever you find yourself, there are these organizations who also collaborate, and they work together when it comes to crime prosecutions and crime investigations, irrespective of who you are and wherever you find yourself. So that is one option available to him. The other option is to wait for him to enter the country any day, anytime, and they could pick him up to answer some of those questions.
I see. Now, they will come back to the raid and how they connected it to the OSP, and OSP said, oh, they didn't raid and all of that. But let me come back to Council. Council, now, the understanding we get from the OSP's quarters is that the first time they declared Mr. Ofori-Atta wanted, his lawyers got back to them and insisted that, and had a certain agreement of a sort that his name be taken off the wanted list, that he will be present. Now we know that Mr. Ofori-Atta is in court asking that the court restrains perpetually the OSP from declaring him wanted and even from publicizing that. Do you think that the Ofori-Atta side has given the OSP a raw deal of a sort, if you will?
Oh, I really, I don't know what I don't know what Mr. Ofori-Atta wants, but I know as a matter of public notice that the OSP also came out at a point in time,
right,
to say that his name had been taken out of the wanted list, or is no longer a fugitive because of a certain undertaking that Mr. Ofori-Atta has made to the office.
That's correct.
That on a particular day, Mr. Ofori-Atta will avail himself for the investigation.
That's correct.
So, if this is correct, then if the action is trying to compel the special prosecutor to stop declaring him or to take his name out of the wanted list, I think it is of no consequence. It will be an acting in futility, because what you seek to stop is actually non-existent. That's number one. But you see,
Sunrise
this matter,
3 FM, the best
I think, is of greater significance than people think.
Tell me.
This case is of greater significance than people might think.
Tell me about it.
Now, if we make it as a norm that anyone who is charged with a criminal offense can go to court and stop the investigative body by coming under Article 23, which is a law regulating administrative bodies to act within their ambit and to be reasonable and all that. If they apply this to the police and the investigative bodies, which I agree sometimes they are excessive and sometimes they abuse it. But we have to be careful in granting such orders, because in the first place, if you are arrested or if you avail yourself for investigation before any law enforcement body, the law gives an opportunity for you to be granted bail.
Right.
It is not a conviction. It is not any, there's no room for unnecessary or unwanted restriction. And so to say that a law enforcement body should be stopped from investigating or from looking for a person who is at loggerheads with the criminal law is in itself to stop prosecuting or investigating criminal offense. Till when? Till when? I don't know when he wants them to stop them until he wants them to be stopped until what happens. And if it is perpetual, if it is forever, which means that whatever he does with the special prosecutor's requirements for investigation and prosecution of him, whatever he does, the special prosecutor must contend with it. And if it means if it means that the orders of the court has made the special prosecutor inaccessible to him, which will mean that's what it would be.
Counsel, is
dangerous.
Counsel, if you go back to the earlier press conference that Mr. K0řm, the special prosecutor, had, at the tail end of that conversation, he indicated that the first correspondence that he received from the lawyers of Mr. Ofori-Atta indicated that he is out of the jurisdiction forever. So, on hindsight, perhaps the OSP seems alarmed that, well, he should have paid attention to that initial letter that says that Mr. Ofori-Atta is perpetually out of the jurisdiction, as opposed to when they had that gentleman's agreement to alter the one.
All right, Abusia, it's just a wedding summer, of course, so our political highway is what I say. Ken Ofori-Atta OSP kisi ejaben ababa mani showdown one man June 2nd say papa no report to Ghana ha osabe declare wanted and this time wanted no be declaring there obema Interpool for aboni CCH the so no more than ababi si Ghana ha just say some akoso our highway so na anu wede NDC foot soldiers in so any abromo so send strong one say omo pese kianeke ye prosecute Ken Ofori-Atta ni jelu ma na chidi for ade additional ade na say NDC for feel say o ma prosecuting ade a ende o mo sabe send NDC back to opposition just send some caution ade na ye ne bresem te busuam de mbesia na madam asesa maje pani be ko tie sama e course so e political highway so aha POG Media meramase